Hi friends, it's Tracy from the Financial Freedom Diary, and today I'm going to be doing my allocated spending plan for the month of October. I have my erasable ink pen, my allocated spending plan form, and my calculator as my supplies for this particular video. Off to the side, I have my monthly cash flow plan, and I just use it to check my category names. I like to keep them consistent between the two forms so I don't confuse myself, and to make sure like my debt snowball payment actually totals up to what I put on my summary. On the very front page, there are instructions. Excuse me, I'm getting tongue tied. And I keep my income broken out at the top, and so you guys are seeing my total. If I was getting paid weekly, I would fill in all 4 of those boxes, but since I get paid twice a month, I only fill in 2. I'm a salaried person, so I get paid the last day of the month and the 15th of the month. And so for savings, I'm just relabeling those headers to make it meaningful to me. So it's Christmas and gifts, quarterly taxes, and my son's savings. And so here I messed up, and see, an erasable pen comes in handy, but before I used to use a pencil on this. And the first few times you do this, it is kind of challenging. So the goal of this is to spend your paycheck down to 0. You don't overspend your paycheck. And so I'm subtracting out 80.57 from 28.69.45. And it came to 27.88.91. Now I'm going to subtract out 87.5 and get 27.01.41. And then I'm going to subtract out 60 and get 26.41.41, and I write that down. And then I go down to my rent, write down what my rent is, and then I'm going to subtract it from that number. But yes, when I got started, my bank account was in a negative, and I had more bills than I actually had money. And so I had to learn how to use this form so that I never do that again. It was challenging to do because I had to retrain the way I thought. Even though I have a couple of degrees, it doesn't mean that I knew anything about money. I was actually clueless about money. I had never been taught about it, and I didn't really have any examples at home. Something that's going to change for me is that I'm going to start taking out all of my cash envelopes out of my first check. So that means all of my food money is going to come out of the first check. Restaurants, personal money, everything for cash envelopes. Here, paying off that car gave me the room to move those cash envelopes to my first paycheck. And so that's the beauty of paying off debt, is when you do pay something off, you get to reclaim your money and you get to spend it the way that you want to. And I still have obligations that I need to cover, so I can't really celebrate or anything like that. But I do get to reshuffle things around and make it the way that I want it to be. And I don't have to worry about paying this and paying that. Now it's just paying off my student loans. And so I had forgot to take care of the insurance and stuff. And so my insurance does come out of my paycheck. I add it back into my total so I can keep account of how much I pay out in life insurance and health insurance and things like that. I like to keep my eye on things. I think that once you've been asleep at the wheel, you don't really want to do that again. And so now that I've learned better habits, I try to implement processes that keep me from repeating the past mistakes that I've made. And here's down in the personal section, and this is where you're going to see that I'm going to give myself $100 for the month. I didn't used to have wiggle room to give myself personal money. Now I do, and $100 works out for me. It gets me the little things that I like to have, and that's all I need for right now because my focus is on paying off my debt. I have some goals I want for the future, and so I need to hurry up and pay off my past. And so every time I divert my money to wants, I have to make a sacrifice and stay in debt a little bit longer. And if I'm not willing to do that, then I don't give myself those things. Even though I know I earn the money, it doesn't mean that I'm free to spend it any way that I want, because I signed those promissory notes and said that I would pay back those loans. And so that's what I'm going to do. So I don't feel deprived. When I started this, I think I used to feel a little bit deprived, but I don't now. It's more like, I made the obligation, and so I need to do it. And since I do give myself $100, that's what takes that feeling away. My clothing, I save for it. All the little things that I need to take care of to help me professionally and personally, like just the little things that I like to have, I still get to do. I just don't get to spend myself into oblivion and then later wonder what happened to my money. And so here I'm handling the debt section, and I am going to make my interest payment at the beginning of the month. And then I'm going to make my second debt snowball payment to my student loans, and that's going to be $812.74. Now I'm at zero, and the spending stops, and I move on to zeroing out my second paycheck. I actually use the allocated spending plan to help me with my paycheck to paycheck budget. I know where the money is supposed to go before I get my check. So if something changes, let's say I earn more side hustle money, I know what I need to cover. And I know that extra side hustle money has to first, I need to take 25% out of that to set aside for my taxes. And then the rest of it, I need to dump on debt. And so I hope that helps y'all understand how that works for me. Because it's not bad after you do this for a while. But it does take some time to adjust to the changes, and the change in the lifestyle, the change in the mindset, and managing yourself. And I honestly don't have a lot of people saying much. Some people try to teach me how to control myself with credit cards and things like that. And I listen. I'm not disrespectful to other people. But if I know myself and I know how I think, then it's like, okay, thank you. And I'm going to keep it pushing, because until I know that I can swipe my debit card without thinking about the maximum that's in there and thinking, hey, I got like $1,100 in my checking account, let me go spend it, then I'm not using a credit card, because I'm still not thinking straight. And so here I am going to make that $862.46 payment to my student loans. I think that should cover my balance, but I'm not sure. And then my student loan F is actually going to get $444.14. And so I had to go back and redo the math and fix that. But there it is. And thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all my new subscribers. Y'all have a super fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening. And thank you for everybody who's been around since day one. I was about to skip over that, and I'm so sorry. But thank all of y'all, and I am so happy to be able to share this with y'all. Bye.